civil lawsuit from the bank teller Peyton Garcia. Xavier was ordered to pay her an astonishing $10.8 million. Although he obviously does not have that money, the suit is intended to confiscate any earnings he might stand to gain from life rights or films or TV series, book deals, and so forth, essentially diverting those funds to her. For someone who relished being in the spotlight, even anonymously, this has to sting Xavier the most. One final piece that I found interesting is the judge's ruling in the civil lawsuit, which addresses a long-standing battle over who gets to profit from the actions of well-known criminals. O.J. Simpson, for example, wrote the book If I Didn't, about how he would have, hypothetically, killed his ex-wife Nicole Brown and her friend Ron Goldman, which has always been insane to me, by the way. Imagine if your wife died, right, and then you fought for years that someone else did it, and it's so tragic that your wife was murdered. And then, like, decades later, you write a book about how you hypothetically would have murdered your wife. I know we all know that the guy did it, but just imagine, because he's claiming he didn't, imagine a world where you didn't murder your wife, but you write a fanfic later on about how you would have murdered your wife? Like, what planet are we living in? Okay, whatever. A federal bankruptcy judge awarded those rights to the victim's family, which was later published with the subtitle Confessions of the Killer, which is really funny that he's flat out like, if I hypothetically did it, and then they attach the subtitle that he is the killer confessing to his crimes. But I also remember in like the early publications or the early prints of it, there was some note the family had to make the word if really small or like appear in the top left, so it looks like the book cover just says, I did it, O.J. Simpson. Another example is Jordan Belfort, who Leonardo DiCaprio played in Wolf of Wall Street, was offered a $500,000 advance from book publisher Random House and sold the film rights for over $1 million to a company called Red Granite. This is in despite of the fact that Belfort was supposed to pay $110 million to victims of his numerous acts of fraud. The U.S. government publicly stated their intent to confiscate half of that, but it does not appear that they ever followed through with it. Understand I am moving far off the plot of Chiefsaholic, but I think this is cool, so get over it. Interestingly enough, Red Granite itself was caught up in a massive multi-million-dollar embezzlement scheme in which they siphoned massive amounts of money from a Malaysian state fund. The co-founder of that company, who is also the stepson of a former Malaysian prime minister, is currently under arrest in that country. But I digress. I'll do a video about it at some point, maybe. Anyway, back to the Chiefsaholic case. In this case, the judge's ruling once again attempts to change the landscape regarding convicted felons who want to profit off their stories. Today, Xavier Babudar is being held at the Federal Correction Complex, Florence, or FCC Florence, alongside other notorious criminals like the Oklahoma City bomber, the Bay, the Boston Marathon bomber, and El Chapo. While his acts were nowhere near as violent or horrifying as those, he will spend many years behind bars, thinking about his life up to this point. One final note, this past year in 2025, Kansas City Chiefs made it to their third Super Bowl in a row, hoping to become the first team in NFL history to three-peat. Instead, they were blown out 40-22 by the Philadelphia Eagles. So I would imagine that on this rare occasion, Xavier's probably happy he didn't have any money on that game. Or if he did, I guess he would have just stolen it back later. And that is the story of Chiefsaholic, the Kansas City Wolfman who robbed a bunch of banks. This is a story that is so weird, I couldn't not talk about it. So I'm happy that you guys decided to not listen, and it means a lot, and I just want to say thank you for watching. We're trying out something new here on the second channel. Please let us know what you think in the comments below. Everyone who helped work on this video will be listed in the description, so be sure to show them some love. I hope that you enjoyed, and there will be more content on the way soon. But for now, I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!